Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us here. My name is Jack. I'm the CEO and also the CIO.
My name is Natalie, and I'm the CEO.
My name is Skylar. I'm the COO.
And we're at Blocksafe, and we're so happy to have you here. So basically, my passion for business started when I was in high school, and I was able to be part of a web design startup company. And then throughout my college career, I've been able to be part of the entrepreneurship program at the University of Utah. And I've also been able to do electromagnetics research, where eventually my work was published for IEEE. And so business has always been something I've been really interested in. And I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story. I ordered a $20,000 camera a little while ago, and it was delivered to my house, and within about an hour of it being delivered, it was stolen off my front porch. And so this was an eye-opening experience for me. I had no package insurance, I wasn't able to get the camera back, and obviously I'm $20,000 in the hole. What is the problem? This happens to millions of Americans a year, and frankly, the modern solutions to home security just aren't really protecting the package itself. And so on average, people spend about $50 per package at 21 packages a year. So people are ordering a lot, and e-commerce is really at an all-time high. So the solution to this problem that we're introducing is Blocksafe. Blocksafe is a smart locker system that secures your package when you're not at home. Now, this product is great in that we wanted to design it to be indistinguishable from a planter box sitting on your front porch, to deter porch pirates from taking your package. Built in with a 24/7 alarm system, it's as easy as taking your package and placing it on the arrival section platform, and it will safely store your package. It will also not allow unauthorized users access to the package area without an RFID card access. With this included, we also have a weatherproof design, so your package is guaranteed to be safe from damage from weather, as well as it's pretty heavy duty. So we contemplated about, people might be skeptical to invest their money into a smart locker system. But one unique experience that we bring as a customer is that we want to ensure customer satisfaction. Not only just through the purchasing process, but the entire process through post-purchase support, as well as evaluation of the product through our research and development team. So customers are really the main focus, and Blocksafe's mission is essentially to give you peace of mind. I'm now going to turn it over to Skylar, who's going to introduce our competitors and talk a little bit more about that.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Skylar Stockham. I'm a senior electrical engineering student at the U. I've had 2 years of experience at the Facebook Data Center in Eagle Mountain, and I've been vice president of Engineers Without Borders for the last 6 months. So a lot of my extracurricular focus has been in project management. So with our competition, we've got Ring doorbells, we've got package insurance, and then we've got other competitors in the same segment. We're going to take a look at some of these other competitors. It might be a bit of an unconventional approach, but we just wanted to highlight some of what we think are weaknesses in competition so we can show you what we think are our strengths. So this is a standard steel box, essentially. Kind of looks like a trash can just on your front porch. What's the point of that? You should kind of put your box into a slightly bigger box. You can upgrade a little bit, get something with some electronics on it. Not super different from what we have, but it's this tiny, again, little, essentially, trash can that you put on your front porch. This is our main competitor, but again, not that big, right? It's just kind of this cooler, it's electronics on it, not much more than a fancy cooler. So what are the pain points that we're trying to address here? We don't want anyone just to come and pick up your fancy steel trash can, walk away with it. We want something that's permanent. We want something that's not going to be just tossed off and it's in some truck and wheeled away. We really were thinking about who we want to be as a brand and as a product. We really wanted to embody quality, privacy, and security as just our main points of interest. So we thought, who really embodies these values? Who is top of the line for their product category, and who can we emulate a little bit? We really like Apple's design. Security is like their number one thing. They're like security and privacy, that's Apple. We really like Yeti. Yeti's got just top of the line stuff, is solid, and top dollar for top quality products. This is our Blocksafe night. We want, when people think of Blocksafe, we want them to think, oh, I've got this knight at my castle. He's tough looking, and I don't want to mess with him. Right? Big, he's bold, and he's there. So you've got this large product, much larger than your steel trash cans you're putting your stuff in. It's got a nice planter on it. We really think this will be much preferable and more permanent than these other solutions. So the permanence thing is kind of big for us, right? We don't want to just be another gizmo or a gadget. We'd really like to integrate with your house as you would a fence or even your front door. Permanence for us is value, and permanence is also continuity. If you buy an Apple product, you're going to probably have that for 5, maybe even 6 years. Not with some of their recent software stuff that they're being sued for. But in general, this is what we think is a core tenet of our business, is having a really solid, really long-lasting home improvement. People do not want junk, and that's what we believe at Blocksafe. There's our not junky knight. He's ready to roll, just like our product. I'm going to hand it over to Natalie for our next bit.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm the CFO. So some of the experience that I bring to the team is that I have industry app development, and that we are going to integrate into our product. And I'm very excited about this product because I've experienced some of the difficulties that Jack has with stolen packages, and that's sort of what motivates me to solve this problem. So it turns out that this is a very common problem, and 54% of Americans worry that their package is going to be stolen, while 64% of Americans have had a package stolen from their front porch. So we know that package deliveries are getting more and more popular each year, and 59% of Americans receive at least one package a week, which shows that our product has widespread appeal, and so that's part of our competitive advantage. So let's talk about market size. So there are 83 million families in the United States, and of those, if we receive 5% share, then we can receive 2.07 billion. So we have 3 different categories of markets that we can target. We have families, we have medium and small sized businesses which receive packages, and we also have apartment complexes, and we want to target these 3 areas individually. So our business model is that if we achieve 9% total share of the market, which is the security market in commercial and home areas, then we expect our market share to be $21.3 billion at a unit price of $500 per unit. This would bring our revenue in 12 months to $2.16 billion. And these are some of the testimonials that we've received from people that we've been talking to about our product. And ever since we started working on our product, we have received a lot of potential customer interest that they would be interested in pre-ordering, and we also want to partner with apartment complexes that are being built that we could also integrate our product into their infrastructure. And the good news about this product is that the growth of package deliveries has increased significantly, as you can see from this graph. So our product is only going to be more and more relevant each year. And so this is a great investment opportunity. We are asking $300,000 for 20% stake in the company. And if you have any additional questions, please contact us through this contact information, and we would be so grateful to answer any questions, and we thank you for your time.
Thanks, everybody.
Just one thing before we take questions. This is a QR code to our slides if you're interested in further information. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. So one question towards the end, you mentioned that you would also partner with potentially some apartment complexes where, and then before there was already like a allocation where any packages that came, especially from Amazon, were delivered to.
Sure.
How do you compete with that or with the mailbox where they usually put the packages?
So yeah, they have PO drop boxes, right? So usually it's all shared by everybody in the community. And that's one weakness that we wanted to try to tackle, as well as what Skylar mentioned before as far as the size limitation of packages. Our unit's just able to handle bigger packages, whereas some of our competitors and maybe these PO boxes can't do. So that is a huge weakness that we are trying to attack as far as our strategy goes. But the apartment complexes is a much smaller part of the market that we're actually trying to focus on. But the great question, thank you.
How will you keep your company growing once as many people who want these purchase them? Because it's not like they're going to need 3 or 4 of them. They already have one. How are you going to, and say you kind of taper off, how are you going to keep your company and your business growing? Are you going to look into other products, or what do you have?
Great question. So yeah, one thing we threw on there was partnerships with other companies. So delivery service providers right now, I think, would jump at the idea to be able to integrate something that is controlled by them, but ensures customer satisfaction for their company. So, I mean, obviously you can take Amazon, for example. If they had a 100% customer satisfaction rate, they would partner with anybody to be able to ensure that. So partnerships like that are important to us too, but also just creating different sizes of what product we made, because some people might not be ordering large packages all the time, or there might be an area that requires larger packages to be delivered, such as corporate warehouses and stuff like that.
Before we wrap up there, I think more of what you're asking is, one of the weaknesses in our business might be that we don't have that monthly subscription coming back in once we have our product installed. We're out for a long time. And that's just one of the weaknesses of our business, is that it's just, we don't have as fast-paced another subscription service. That doesn't mean we don't find ourselves viable. Just as you would replace your fencing every, I think I'm throwing out like 30 years as kind of like an extreme case, right? But, you know, it really might not be that long, even if it's more along the line of 10 years. In comparison to a monthly model, that's still like archaic. So we recognize that is a weakness of our business.
I think what Skylar might also be trying to add is that our main priority is maintaining our customers, and so that's why I was emphasizing customer satisfaction so much. So it's more about addressing how we can provide a durable product, and that will eventually reach more people too, I think. So, you have your hand up?
I did. 2 things. One, I love the Blocksafe knife. That's awesome branding.
Thank you.
2, you had on there part of the target market that you intended to capture was businesses.
Right.
How exactly do you plan to do that? Because I know a lot of businesses, when they receive packages, it is bigger than a person, 55-gallon drum, something that is either not going to fit easily into something like a Blocksafe, or that needs to be signed for and handled very carefully?
Great question, and I think as our secondary market, this is something that is a little bit trickier, obviously, as far as fitting what they might want as far as a package recipient product. So I think that part of that is, we can play around with some of the size constraints that we are able to provide. But really our whole model is designed around people that just want to receive packages safely. And so I think there's a lot of areas that would want to invest in that. I think some of those specifics might be require a little bit more research to understand.
Also, I think that what you're bringing up might apply to larger businesses, and we're actually just trying to target small and medium-sized businesses, so we're not trying to be able to secure like industrial size deliveries for like manufacturing large amounts of products. Like if that's sort of what you're getting at, like we really wanted to target smaller businesses that, for example, like I know several of my friends, they have had to go into the office on the weekend because there was like a weekend delivery or something like that, so it just would add that convenience.
I'm wondering if you guys have entertained marketing to new construction. I think that due to the nature of your product, you can have some success there as far as the large item that could be considered more of a building material that would have value to things that we don't consider customers spending a lot of money on capacity for
I think that's a great suggestion.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
Are you doing yourself harm just by the sheer size of the product? 'Cause there's only so many homes or porches or anything that can actually accommodate something like this that's this large.
So
Did you mention that specifically?
Being 5 feet by 2 feet, and it's about roughly 80 pounds. I think it's a reasonable size constraint. I think one reason we wanted to make it bigger was just obviously durability. And we talked about the pain point of somebody being able to take those smaller competitors' boxes with them and just take the entire electronics and wear out that way as well. I think that, like I said before, we're trying to approach it as sort of a planner box that can be customized and essentially erase all the possibility of somebody walking by and seeing your package in the first place. So I think even though it's a large thing, if it can fit with the home decor and sort of deter people from seeing the packages, that's really all we care about.
And that was going to be my next question, is whether the aesthetic of it being a planter box was focused on fitting in with the decor of the home.
Absolutely, 100%.
And could be marketed heavily as such.
Yeah.
It's not ugly. It's not a big ugly box in the porch.
Absolutely.
I know how far along you guys are. Do you have a production cost yet? Especially with you talking about customizations,
Yeah.
range.
We actually do know some of that information just because I've actually prototyped some of this here on campus in Lasan. And the manufacturing costs obviously depend heavily on what type of materials we're using. So the material science side of it is something we want to explore more. As of now, obviously lumber is really expensive, so making things out of wood is something we kind of just had to take a compromise on. But the cost is relatively simple as far as electronics and stuff go. And customizing, I think, is something we're not worried about. I'm going to go to Melissa.
Because you guys did bring up the size and the weight again, do you know how much it would cost to ship this to people who order it? Because that seems like it's going to be a lot in shipping.
Yeah, that's a good question. Our distribution model is sort of assuming that we are taking on a lot of that burden. So we want the experience for the customer through the entire purchasing process to be really straightforward and simple, where we can home install it for you. So obviously that takes a little bit more involvement from our team as far as how to make that distribution model and service our customers. Joe?
How did you guys decide on the dimensions, and have you considered different versions of the box where you've got smaller versions and some larger versions?
Totally. I think we kind of answered this before. We're trying to make a base model where we can change the dimensions of it pretty easily. And our design that I've made in Lasan is actually super modular and can be taken apart really simply. So each piece just fits into the other pieces really well. Some of the size dimensions, like as we were kind of building this, we wanted enough space to where we can maximize the size package for the average user, and we based everything off of that average package size. And then we also kind of made it obviously a little bit bigger so you can fit multiple smaller packages and stuff too. So that was a lot of what we meant to do.
I believe you guys said that your market, I forget if it was your TAM or your SAM, was 9% of the total home security market. Can you guys talk a little bit about how you got to that 9%? It's relatively high for what you guys are offering. It's just, when I think of home security, I don't exactly think of package security. That means not important. That
Yeah.
carry 10% of that market.
Well, that's because some of the features that our product has, we are also incorporating home security features such as cameras. So the number was based off of a combined figure of both the commercial and the home security market. So that's where that percentage is coming from.
And we're pretty unique in what we're trying to attack as far as the market here. So I think we are able to sort of attack more of that because we know exactly what it is. We're not trying to reach a market that 300 other companies are doing. It's pretty limited as far as.
How does the customer open the box to retrieve the package?
Great question. I love that question. So, because this is literally what I spent a couple weeks doing. So the door is located on one of the sides, but it can't actually be opened by anybody except for an RFID card access. But there's no handle on it to actually open. It's just something you have to physically push in and then it unlocks as you do that. So it's basically made to provide maximum security that way.
Is there a way that maybe you can also have it so that it's open, like with my phone or something?
Absolutely. This actually already has mobile app integration. We've already written all the code and software for that. So the mobile app integration allows you to enable the alarm if you think your package is being stolen, unlock the door, and also it keeps track of how many packages you have and updates that as the door is open. Because if you open it, you're taking all your packages out. So all that's integrated into our mobile app. It's really the simplest we try to make it. So.
What's the power supply?
Power supply. Good question. So that's something we're actually tackling right now. Like we're at that stage of building where we're integrating some of that. We have a few microcontrollers that do consume power, but it's pretty minimal. And then as far as the door lock system, that would be the only other major power concern. And so with those, we've done a little bit of calculation on what does that require, and it should just be something that you can plug into a power source.
I would suggest looking really heavily into batteries because you would reach a larger share of the market if this wasn't reliant on being right next to a plug on the door.
I love that actually, because that's a good point. I think for our initial prototype, obviously we were like a power out idea, but that's a great idea.
I kind of missed it, but how exactly are you going to allow? So they just press that down, put a package in. How are you going to keep other people from stealing your packages by the way that they're being put in?
Good question. So the surface in which you place the package on actually has a lid on it too. I tried so hard to bring the prototype today, but the lab was locked. I don't have card access. It was a whole mess. But the point is that it has a lid that basically secures it over. I figured that anybody that has a package delivered can put in instructions like Amazon provides to say, hey, please lift this lid, place it in, and lock it. Yeah, good question.
Another possibility with this product in particular that would give us an advantage over competitors is if you can have this insertion portion be separate from your actual retrieval portion. So the risk we run there is if someone's trying to prank you, you could have anyone just come in and drop a bag of dog doo-doo in your Blocksafe. But in terms of just convenience for delivery, that would make adoption a lot more simple. Versus those other competitors where that access does have to come. You have to tell the Amazon person, hey, use this product that you probably don't want to because you've been driving your Amazon truck to Jeff Bezos for 15 hours today. So that's a possible advantage to our product.
I think he's saying like the other competitors had a model which the opening is also the exit, and we're trying not to do that. We're trying to separate those two. I think we're running low on time maybe, so maybe one more question if that's cool. Yeah.
It's more of a suggestion than a question.
Sure.
But I think that pretty much all of the concerns that we face will be solved if you migrated this technology into essentially a walking of platforms.
Yeah, totally. We had some earlier models that were built into the porches or built into a wall. Obviously, we wanted some type of product, so this is kind of the right one, but I think these are all really good ideas. And this is certainly just a prototype phase for us.
Right, that doesn't, it doesn't mean this would be our only product that we would offer, but we want to have an option for people who maybe live in an apartment that can't like change their door or something like that, but also.
Can't like change their actual property or anything.
Maybe we'll just build the actual Blocksafe Knight and then he'll just guard your package. That'll be our Gen 2s. The robot with the really big sword.